Ugandans, and especially people from northern Uganda, to embrace peace and hard work. The peace and hard work will help us to generate our own economy, to generate our own transformation to a better life. I want to thank the leaders of this country. I want to thank the NRM government, our president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for leading us through the challenges, and we register some successes. In northern Uganda, especially after the wars, there was abject poverty compared to the rest of the country, and now there has been some progress made through various interventions. And I also want to thank the people of northern Uganda for having embraced the government programs. But I say that we should do more. When new programs are introduced, we should take time to understand it and own it and work with it for our own betterment, for our own transformation. Please avoid reckless activities, over drinking, activities that can lead you into accidents, which can lead you into fights, which can lead you into criminal tendencies. May you celebrate this 59th year of independence in peace. God bless you.
Rwanda in Kigali, the Cranes continue their quest for a place at the Qatar World Cup. Now join us as we bring you the East African Derby Part 2 all the way from St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende, and Tebe Road.
We shall never look back, we shall never ever stop.
This Sunday, the 10th of October at 4 p.m. live on UBC TV and radios. UBC, your home of sports.
Everybody.
A very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome you to this edition of this week. We have one-on-one with Micheal Lukomwa, and this time round, not to waste any second, we are bringing you the Minister for Transport in this beautiful country of ours, Uganda. That is General Edward Katumba Wamala, and we're going to discuss a number of issues to do with the transport sector in the Pearl of Africa. General, you're most welcome to the show.
Thank you.
In the first place, before we go to anything, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm doing fine. Yeah. And I'm just eager to continue serving my country, my beautiful country, as you have rightly said.
Yes. Okay, you see, we stand with you in whatever happened, and I know all Ugandans stand with you and commiserate with you for that bad time that
Thank you.
we cannot forget.
Thank you.
Yes, General, how is the transport sector in Uganda? What would be your general statement about how we are in terms of transport as a country?
Well, the transport sector is steadily improving. We are not yet, I wouldn't say we are very fine, but we are progressively improving every year, every budget year, every year, every time. There is something which we add on. So I would say that a number of things are being done in terms of improving our transport sector. Many roads have been paved. For example, I can tell you that right now, all what we call the Class A roads, those are roads which connect our country to other countries. All those have already been paved.
Those are classified as Class A.
Those are classified as Class A.
Learning that today.
So that's the road, for example, from Malaba all the way to Katuna. It's paved. The road from Elegu all the way to Chanika The road from Busia all the way to Lamia in Bundibujo, all those are paved. And that has given us a lot of mileage in terms of improving time of transport and trade between our sister nations. So you can move from South Sudan and connect to Rwanda. You can move from Kenya and move and connect to Congo border. You can, so there's no problem in that. So that's a mileage, I think.
Okay.
Right now, we are also trying to, through the Uganda Airlines, create highways in the air. That very soon you'll be able to, because we're about to launch our Dubai connection, and then we are also launching London, I think sometime in November. We're already going to South Africa. So you can see that now trade supported by air in terms of reach out connections also
We've got a
improving.
different bar in facilitation.
Yes, we only call upon Ugandans to maximize and really take advantage of these facilities. For example, it would make a lot of sense if many of our Ugandans would increase on the trade of fresh fruits, flowers to Dubai, to London, because if you live here and you drop in London by 9 a.m., at least by 12:30, our fresh food should be on the stalls of the markets in London. So we have, these are all very interesting developments in terms of improving our transport sector. We have also expanded a lot. Entebbe Airport has been expanded. We want it to become a regional hub so that other airlines can actually operate from here, reach out to other areas. We have already got into talks with the Qatar airline, which want to use us as a hub to be able to reach out. In the expansion, we have also even expanded the fresh foods cold storage facilities at Entebbe to 100,000 cubic meters now. I mean, worth of which we can contain, or we can hold up to 100,000 cubic. We also opened the route to Mwanza. Our vessels are now working. Pamba vessel has just been repaired. It's now ready to start operation. Just a few things on Lake Victoria. So we can reach out now to Mwanza, we can reach to Kisumu. Kawa has already been operating. Now we are hauling most of the fuel through the water, which reduces a lot of strain on the roads. We are also in the process of rehabilitating the meter gauge railway, the line from Malaba to Kampala. We have already got facilitation through the Spanish loan. We are going to work with a Chinese company called China Railways and Bridges to do emergency repairs on the line. And then in the near future, we are going to have a very big project funded by the World Bank to fully rehabilitate the meter gauge.
Wow. What has enabled all this kind of good news that you're sharing with us?
I think the country, the nation decided that transport is a turnkey to development. That was a decision by the president, by the strategic guidance by the president, when he started saying let's invest a lot in infrastructure development because it's the turnkey to development.
Let's start with Uganda Airlines. We hear a lot of things within there. What is happening? Corruption allegations, shake-up of administration and things like that. First of all, are the corruption allegations true in there? And is it true that there is a shake-up within the administration, and why?
Well, as all things, when you are starting, challenges are there. You'll always find some challenges. Did we face some challenges in the beginning? Yes, we have. Were there allegations of corruption? I can't go into that detail because there is still an investigation going on. So I don't want to jeopardize that. But that will be established when the investigation is over. But is the airline up and running? Yes. Despite all those, it was a stumble, but the airline is up and functional. That's why I'm telling you, we have even been able to open routes to Johannesburg, we are opening to Dubai very soon, and then to London. We have already had the certification for the A330-800, the Airbus. So things are moving. Things are moving. And right now, if you happen to go at the Entebbe airport and look at the screen, the travel screen, you realize that Uganda Airlines is dominating the regional travels now, as we speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
We hear of other countries that have airlines complaining about losses and not making the returns as they expected. What are we putting in as a country to have a carrier that will give us what we want?
Okay. First of all, let me say this.
How special will Uganda Airlines be within the region for us not to complain about losses?
First of all, let me say this. An airline is like an infrastructure. I would want Ugandans to have that at the back of their mind, that this is an infrastructure. It is not so much of making business and making money overnight. Airlines take time to make money, but they support other sectors of the economy. For example, with our Uganda Airlines now, as I was saying, the trade in fresh fruits and fresh foods is likely to go up. They support the tourism industry, because right now our tourists, instead of having advanced routes through Nairobi, through where they can fly direct to Uganda. So that supports that sector of the economy, right? Plus the employment. We have brought back most of our Ugandans who are scattered all over the world. The pilots, the crew, cabin crews who are scattered all over the world, struggling to make ends meet. Now they are working at home. So while you may not see the direct profit, but there are those accruing benefits out of the airline. Plus the prestige that the crane is in the skies. Don't you feel proud? that
General, would you really compare that to the weight of profits?
Oh, sure. There is nothing that's as outstanding as having a national flag. I'll tell you something. When we went to pick, when I went to the team to pick the Airbus in France, when we landed and I saw Uganda Airlines flag, I was so happy. Yes,
is that what
there is
investing in?
Yes, there is that. Yes, there is. It is worth investing in. It's worth investing because you are marketing your country.
Okay.
You are marketing Uganda, the beautiful Uganda you have talked about.
I remember the president at the relaunch of the Uganda airline. In his speech, he said we must avoid the problems that led to the collapse of the previous carrier.
Yeah.
How much are you doing that? More so with what we hear.
Yes, and how we are going to avoid that is operating that airline as a company, as opposed to a parastatal. Because what affected the other airline was because it was being operated as a government parastatal. Government is not very good in business.
Really?
Yes.
With all the professionals within the ministry and everywhere,
exactly.
with all of you people?
They were not very good in business.
Okay.
So that airline will be operated as a business, as a company. And that's why it has a board of directors. That's why it has a total it has a independent management. For example, now even me as a minister, I cannot take a flight on that air unless I've paid.
You don't have any free reservation?
No way. No way. Even all ministers, they are aware. If you want to fly Uganda Airlines, you must pay your. It's not that we shall pay later. No.
So far, what challenges would you talk about that have somehow haunted this baby that we are all looking at?
No, I think the one thing that really maybe what I can say gave us a setback was the COVID.
Okay.
Remember, we launched in August, 2018.
Yes.
I think 2019, and then COVID came in, just a month after the launch. And you can imagine, one of the most hard hit industry or business which has been affected by COVID is the airline. So air transport was highly, and Uganda Airlines was not an exception. But at least we have been able to remain afloat, and that's why we are still operating. And it was good planning that we had, first of all, the CRJ 900 doing the regional operations, which we have continued to manage, and it has really helped us.
I was talking to somebody and he said one thing these people have not thought about is the inland travels. Somebody would love to fly to Arua, to Kabale and back in just minutes. Are there plans like that?
We wouldn't want to overspread, right? I think one step at a time. We think that the inland travel can actually be promoted by local operators, like Go Air and that kind of people. Of course, when you ask, yeah, you can land in Arua. It's about to become a regional airport. You can land in Gulu. You can land in Kidepo. You can land in Kasese. You can land in Kisoro. So we feel that the inland travel could, as of now, be more run by the local operators, so that we don't strafe that side of the business sector, the private sector.
I'll take you a little back. You talked about an airline being an infrastructure, more of a business.
Yes.
If you don't make profits, I'm talking to you as Uganda Airlines, will the government of Uganda that we know that has UPE, has COVID, health, and other things to look after, with a small budget, manage to run your affairs as Uganda Airlines throughout?
No, Uganda Airlines makes money. And I'm not saying it doesn't at all make any money. But what you'll find that most of what they make still actually circulates around their operations. Yes. So it's not like it's a drain on the national economy. It's not. We gave it a startup. We gave them the equipment, the planes. They are free of baggage because they are fully paid for, right? We have bought them equipment to do self-handling. We bought them equipment to be able to do, self-maintenance to a certain level. So they really have a good takeoff. What I'm saying, maybe you got it wrong, that when I said it's not like it's not going to be a drain on the national pass. No, it has got a startup, and so right now most of what the money they are doing or they are making is just actually helping them facilitating the operations, to set up, to pay their workers and all that. So eventually it will make profit, but it's not something we expect like in 1 year.
We have information that UNRA is being brought back under you Ministry of Transport. First of all, how true is that, and how ready are you? Because in our view, UNRA is now like an elephant. It is almost an autonomous kind of man. How ready are you? Do you have the rooms to accommodate this very big man as we speak? How ready are you? Is it true, and how ready are you?
First of all, this was a decision by Cabinet. Cabinet made a decision to rationalize most of what we call the MDAs. Okay. Yes. Because what was realized was that nearly every ministry was having an agency, an authority, and this was also causing a lot of drain on the government pass, because it was like a duplication of roles. Yes. You have engineers here, you have engineers in UNRA, you have all those things. So government made that decision to rationalize. This is a matter which is still in process, and being handled and spearheaded by the Public Service, Minister of Public Service. So I don't have much to say other than just to tell you that yes, that was a cabinet decision. The process is on. Is the ministry ready to take on? Yes, we have made some preparations and arrangements. If that decision will be made finally, then we are ready to accommodate.
How have you been operating as the Ministry of Works and UNRA?
Ministry sets policies, ministry gives strategic guidance, ministry supervises UNRA.
Really?
Yes.
In our view, UNRA seems to be a very big kind of man somewhere.
No, I think that's a misconception, because you think that UNRA is a an animal which is so big that it threatens the ministry. No.
It's
That's
like an
not true.
elephant, and somebody tells you, I am the owner of that elephant, and he has a small backyard.
No. For example, UNRWA makes annual plans and they submit them to the ministry. Annually, they must account for what they have done, and they will give them performance
Assessment, kind of.
Yes, assessments.
You, Ministry of Works, assess UNRWA's performance.
Yes, we do.
Their budgets go through you.
Yes, vote 113.
To roads, you have mentioned a number of them. How many are we having done complete?
I may have to give them in terms of regions.
It's okay.
Okay. If you look at, for example, in the north, we have done Orio, Guru, Achorbu, Kitugum, Misingo. I don't know whether you know those areas. Yes, we have done Guru, Atiak, Nimuli. We are now doing Atiak, Jumani, through to Raropi, then to cross over to Moyo. We have also done, of course, Karuma, Pakwach, that one you know. We have done Karuma, Pakwach, Arua through to Oraba. There is plan, we are also going to do Koboko, Yumbe, Moyo in that belt. So that will have done, put a lot of tarmac within that area. Of course, we still have others to do, like Nebi, Zombo, Wow, Nebi, Zombo, to Paida. Those ones we are on plan. Now, if you go to the eastern part, we have done Soroti, Aksim, Moroto. We are now doing Moroto, Roktanyara. Of course, we did Moroto, Nakapriprit. Now we are doing Muyembe, Nakapriprit to connect that road, to connect Moroto, Nakapriprit, Muyembe to Silonko through to Mbale. We are now doing Kapchora Swam. From Kapchora, we are doing Kapchora Swam. So we'll be able to connect that side. We have already done Wumbori Wakaha.
Why would a road feature in over 3, 4, 5 budgets?
Yes.
And still it doesn't get to be worked on?
Yes, you see, the road...
People get to chant in the areas whenever they hear their road being mentioned by the Minister of Finance. But again, it takes another year, it gets mentioned 3, 4, 5 times, and the road is not.
Okay, first of all, making a road is a process. Yes, the
For
road...
us, when we hear it mentioned,
you think
we
tomorrow
get
it's there. Because you have to look... there are a number of things. We do designs. The road must be designed. It will be mentioned. Yes, like now, you know, there is Nakauka Kasanje Road. That one is known. You know, there is that road. But if it's going to be tarmacked, if it's going to be upgraded, then it must be designed. We must compensate the people along the road to get what we call the right of way. Otherwise, without the right of way, then we cannot continue. Yeah, I think you have seen it on Busabara Road. Busabara Road, we are lucky that the community, for them, after suffering for a long time with the dust, they decided to give land free.
None of them asked for compensation.
Most of them didn't, except those where we had buildings which were following in the right of way. But for the land, nearly all of them said, please take the 1 meter, give us the road. So Busabara Road is being done. But you see, for example, we said Kiramatuga. You know the Kiramatuga Road? The one which starts from Kira to Kasangati?
Yes.
It's just about a 6.5 kilometer road. But it has taken time to start because we have to compensate people along the way. So we have to design, we have to compensate. When we give the contractor also has to go through the design to see whether it will be able to execute it as you have done. Design.
So that road will be mentioned again in another budget?
So it's not like something but even building a house, even when you are building your own house, you start with the foundation.
The idea in your mind.
Yeah, the idea in your mind. After the idea in your mind, you go to the
You look for the architecture.
the architecture to draw the plans and all those. So even the road, it takes a while to start. Even the construction also takes time to be completed, because they have to do all this. They do the sub base, they do the base, they compact, they make it firm. You must let that settle before you add on another layer. So all this takes time, and it's sometimes even more difficult if that road is being done in a swamp area, for example. It's more easier to do a road in the mountains than in the swamp area.
Why is compensation so much tricky when it comes to that whole process of a road construction? What is so much there with compensation?
The compensation is tricky because, first of all, it's a law. It's the law.
Yes.
It's embedded within the Constitution.
The expectation in our view would be that by the time you do the design, you know Lukomwa is this side, Katumba is here, Kamukama is here, Joseph is there. These people need, Katumba needs 3 million, Lukomwa needs 5 million, like that. Why is it that one stage that takes too much time?
I wish it was as simple as that. Lukomwa needs 3 million according to us.
Yes.
Lukomwa thinks he needs 10 million according to him.
Okay.
So we go into that haggle. Your value is 3 million according to the first evaluation. Lukomwa says, no, mine is 10. We bring a government valuer says it's 5 million. Now we go by the government valuer's valuation because that's the legal valuation. So we say, Lukomwa, we are paying you 5 million because that's the government valuer's valuation. Lukomwa says, no, I'm not taking the money. And you can't pass here.
Not until here.
Not until you have adequately compensated me. Now, this is where we had appealed to change of the law to say, if it's a government project, right? If Lukomwa is not satisfied with the 5 million, which is being recommended by the government valuer to be paid, let government put this money in the court. Yeah? Deposit the money in court. The money is secure in the court. Lukomwa can go to court and appeal against the valuation. Yeah? If the court says, yes, Lukomwa was right, he needs 15 million, government will top up of the 5 which is deposited there. But the government project should continue. Not hold. Okay. That should be the way to go about it. Now that's one area. The other area is you find this property X has about 5 people, family. You have seen family wrangles on properties here.
So many times.
We say Lukomwa is the heir, or he's the head of the family. He has the powers of administration. The other family members say no, he doesn't. He cannot take our money. So the family fails to agree as to whom, on which account.
So I'm imagining if the whole stretch has 20 families like that.
Exactly.
That's how long it will take.
That's how long it will take. Okay. So some of those are some of the issues we face.
But again, but there are areas of which we hear of stories of you leaders, government officials who go behind this drama and you manipulate this system of compensation. You buy this property, you hide behind, not you, Katumba Wamala.
Of course, we are dealing with
but I'm having you in representation of all government officials. You hide behind these local people. You have even bought the house actually, but you are behind Omukade na so and so.
Of course, we had to deal with human beings. I can't totally rule that out. I can't. But the problem is nobody comes up to say Katumba bought this property and is inflating the
Katumba will go behind an old man Kamukama somewhere. It's the old man that comes to court.
Yeah, but the old man will
behind him is Katumba.
So I think that's that's like the talk of corruption. We talk a lot about corruption, but for example, I've heard people say that people have built mansions out of the COVID money. But I've not seen somebody to come and say, this building on this road
Belongs to Kamukama.
belongs to Kamukama from COVID money. And then investigations are targeted. But it's just a general talk.
General, do you see that as something simple?
Yeah, but you see that there are systems.
Somebody from the village coming out to...
No, not in the village, because the people who talk are not from the village. People who talk are you. And you the guys in the studio.
Thank you so much, General. Let's take a very short break. To you watching, thank you so much. It's UBC One-on-One. Let's take this short break. Do not go anywhere.
My home, I smile when I think of you, Uganda. My home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda. My home, oh my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home, under the sun so bright, under the moon at night, on my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey, mama.
At MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
Yes, it's UBC One-on-One. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. It's me, Micheal Jordan Lukomwa, and our guest this time round is the Minister for Transport, Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba Wamala. General, welcome back from the break.
Thank you.
How much power do you have as Ministry of Works over roads in our communities at different levels? Do you have a structure that goes up to the villages where we stay?
Let me just give you a breakdown of what the different categories of roads. We have what we call the national roads.
Yes.
National roads, those are the ones under UNRA, Uganda National Roads Authority, which right now the total kilometers on the national roads is 21,000 kilometers of those. The total kilometers of roads in the whole country is about 159, let's say 160,000 kilometers of roads. So we have the national roads, which is 21,000 kilometers.
Yes.
Those are a responsibility of UNRA. Most of them, not all of them are paved.
It is
Because
a work in progress.
yes, it's work in progress. If we were to pave all those, it would require a lot of money. Now, those ones are, as I've said, those are maintained by UNRA. It may be a paved road or a maram road maintained by UNRA. Then we have what we call district roads. These are roads within the districts,
yes.
within the particular district.
Wakiso has theirs,
Wakiso has theirs, Kamuli has, and Nkona has. Now, government realized that it would be very difficult to maintain all these roads centrally from the center. So that's why the president decided that we buy road unit equipment for each district. A full unit, not just a grader, not just pieces, but a full unit. So we gave each district a grader, we gave each district 2 dump trucks, those are the tippers, we gave them a water bowser, we gave them a roller, we gave them a wheel loader. Now, every district, except the new 15 districts which haven't yet got equipment. Now, the districts are responsible for maintaining those roads within the district. Because of this decentralization, the local governments are the ones responsible. So, Uganda Road Fund, every quarter, gives the districts money to maintain those roads within the district.
Okay.
Right? You understand that?
Very well.
Now, that money goes, I understand, right up to the sub-county. They also have roads within the sub-county.
Yes.
Now, is the money enough? Of course, it may not be enough. But the fact remains that each district, every quarter,
We
gets
now
the
have
money.
to throw it on how they plan as a
And how they plan as a district. Because You never have enough resources anywhere.
I wanted clarity.
Yes.
So that I may now get you right
Yes.
in my hands.
Yes.
Because the road network within the villages
Yes.
is really appalling.
It is, but that's, as I've said, that's a responsibility of it. And every
So we have to go to the district leadership
and challenge them.
But as the Ministry of Health and Education have officials at the district levels,
Yes.
don't you need people like that at the district level to supervise and check whether this money is put into use and how they plan for roads?
Interestingly, I can tell you that every district has a district road committee. And one of the members on that committee is the member of parliament. Members of parliament are members of the district road committee. So they sit on that committee to plan for the roads within the district.
Okay.
So in terms of supervision, you even have a member of parliament on that committee.
With councillors?
With the councillors, the LOC5 chairperson, COW and all of those. They sit and plan for the district.
You recently, Ministry of Works and Transport, shifted the driver's licensing from where it was directly now under you. What was the intent and how much has it served the purpose?
Okay. One, the driving license was, it had been concessioned, or it had been contracted to a company called Face Technology.
Yes.
For a long time, and they are the ones who are providing the services. Now, government formed its own security printing company, Uganda Security Printing Company, USPC, which is responsible for all security documents, including passports, including national ID and all this. Now, we found driving license as one of those documents, which we would call a national document, because in the absence of any other document, a driving license suffices. So under that Uganda Security Printing Company, which is a government entity, it's partnered with another company, Veldos, which is doing the passports, and we looked at why these people should not provide the services. So they gave them the challenge, and they picked it. They picked the challenge to say, take on the issuance of driving permits. Now, we moved that from even where the driving permit was in Chambogo to Uganda Railways Corporation. Uganda Railways Corporation offered free space, not really free, but rent at a subsidized rate for the company, and it's most central. The location. It's easier for somebody to pick a boda and ride down.
Here are the challenges,
Yes.
General, before you tell me how much it has served the purpose. One, the expectation would be that now it is a national kind of activity.
Yes.
It would go cheaper. It is almost the other way around.
No, there are things to look at it this way. We did two things. We improved on the quality, because now it's more or less an international document. You don't need, when you are going to countries within East Africa and COMESA, you don't need to go there and do and have another driving permit. This driving permit license serves. It's now a driving license. You can move with it and go across these countries and you drive. Even in the US, you can use it. So
the one issued currently can serve in a number of countries.
Exactly, that's one. Two, even the quality of the card itself is much better. You can decide to pay for 3 years, you can decide to pay for 5 years before you renew.
But still, do you think the rates would be a little lower?
Yeah, but because there you are paying, you had what you are paying, the 80,000 you are paying at First Technology, and then what you are paying to URA, which was separate.
Yes.
But now we have put everything together. You pay once. You don't have to walk to the bank to put money for URA, then you walk with 80,000 to First Technology. No. And we have also dealt away with the middlemen. Now, with this new one,
somebody has to come themselves.
You have to. there is no way somebody will say njakufunira. You can't. Because you must put your finger.
General, there were so much complaints about issues to that stage of IOV.
That's a good question, but that's under police. That's a Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Yes, but in the process of getting this card, how was it handled? Is it still...
Okay, now what we are doing, we are actually moving towards digitalizing the testing, driver testing. Because we can't have this very, very nice driving license, and then the point of entry for somebody to receive it is still as crude as it is now. Yes. So we are moving towards digitalizing the testing of drivers. And we are looking for service providers. If you are one of them, we could give you, yes, we can give you an opportunity. We assess your capabilities, and we see whether you can provide us that service.
You talked of Uganda Railways giving you space, and you brought me to an issue to do with our railway services. They're not very vibrant like they would be. They would solve a lot of issues to do with traffic jam, but this is a sector that you have not really, one would say, thought about as one of your children.
No, we have. And fortunately, we have. Uganda's Railway Corporation suffered when it was concession to RVR. You remember, there was that period of about 10, 12 years when it was under concession by RVR. What actually happened, instead of RVR bring up the services, Uganda Railways Corporation, it just sank it. So right now what we are seeing and what we are doing is breathing life in Uganda Railways Corporation. And this is what we have done. One, as I've told you, we are going to repair the line, Maraba to Kampala. We have already got a Spanish loan, which has already been commissioned off the table, and it's going to start. One of the things it's going to do is to change the sleepers. You know the sleepers? These are the metal plates which are between the two lines. Yes, not the rail. The rail is the line. Okay. But between them, to hold them, there are those metal plates, which have been vandalized by Ugandans.
because the whole system was idle, in the bushes.
That does not...
Somebody needs a sigiri.
No. That does not give you the authority to vandalize a government facility. And I'm very happy with it. You see, I'll tell you this without mincing words. On the Tororo-Gulu line, people respected that all the sleepers, 90% of the sleepers are still there. Even those which had been removed and put at stations, they are there. But look at this line from Maraba to Kampala, Kampala to Kasese. Actually, Kampala to Kasese, there is nothing. Nothing, even the rail was removed. We are reviving. We are breathing new life into the railway. So we are repairing that line, the Maraba Kampala line, and good enough, or as luck would have it, Kenya has also repaired their meter gauge. Remember, if you do, some time back during the COVID time, there was an argument when Kenya had wanted to put our goods in Naivasha. And we said, the traders here said, no, that will be double handling. You move our goods from Mombasa to Naivasha, offload, and then we come to pick them, it will be double handling. Kenya realized it, so they are moving goods from Mombasa to Naivasha on standard gauge, and then they have repaired the meter gauge from Naivasha, or Longonot, up to Malaba. So we are joining that to repair our line from Malaba up to Kampala.
The Kenya you're talking about, yes. They recently launched this speed tube.
Yeah, but, well, we shall get there. Because you can't say my neighbor has got a second wife, I should also get a second wife.
But if that is the standard, if that's the standard of the village.
No, I don't know. So, as I've told you, in the last 2 years, this is what we are doing in the last 2 years. Because really, I can tell you that the railways had gone to the dogs because of that concession. So we are repairing that line. We have bought new locomotives. I think you were there when they were being brought in. The reason why we are repairing this line is because those new locomotives cannot run on this current line.
Does the railways system have the attention the Uganda Airlines is having from you?
More or less, because we are now promoting a multimodal transport system. We are not looking at only one sector of transport. That's why we look at roads, we look at rail, we look at water.
What are the targets in reviving the railways?
In reviving the rail, what we are targeting is we are targeting at moving at least 80% of the cargo off the road to rail. With these new locomotives which we brought in, with the repaired line, we shall be able to move from transporting cargo from Tororo within 16 to 18 hours, and it will take us 6 hours to move cargo. And more being able to hold more wagons with these new locomotives.
How cheap is it to run a ferry than constructing a bridge in an area? For example, Nachiwogo to Buwaya. I'll give that as an example. How cheap or expensive is it to run a ferry which sometimes has mechanical problems and people are not moving than constructing a bridge?
Of course, in the long run, the bridge would be cheaper. But in the short term, when there's no bridge and people have to move, you must provide something. If I may talk about the Nachiwogo Bridge, which you're talking about, actually under the Nakauka project, Nakauka, Kasanje, Mpiji, Kasanje, Kisubi, Kasanje, Natete, under that project, we intend to have a bridge over Nachiwogo.
From Nachiwogo
to Waya.
Okay.
And then you connect.
In how many years to come?
Well, just make sure that COVID doesn't take you.
Wow. Amen. Entebbe Expressway.
Yes.
There is too much worry that people are going to be charged money on this road, on the toll structures that we see. The worry is every July people are on tension. They're going to ask you, we are going to pay 20,000 whenever you're passing. We're going to pay. What is the truth? Are Ugandans going to pay money in these tolls, and how much?
Are Ugandans going to pay money on the toll? Yes. Why? Because that road was constructed as a toll road, and this is not the only country where we have toll roads. Toll roads are everywhere. In many countries we have toll roads. So what has delayed? First of all, by the time the road was finished, we didn't have a law. We didn't have a toll policy and we didn't have a law. Now we have both. We have already gazetted, all that has been gazetted, and we have already contracted an operator for that. It's a French company called Aegis, which is going to ensure that that road, the tolling is done, the lighting is done, the security of it is done, there is ambulance service on it. So if you are going to pay using that road, you are going to be paying, you are going to have these better services. That the road will full-time have security, it will have ambulance service in case an accident happens, where you will respond quickly, and so you'll pay some little money. It's not going to be much, the rates will be gazetted, you'll see them in the gazette.
There is an arrangement to have biometric systems in vehicles. What is the arrangement like?
Yes, we are working with the Minister of Security. This is meant for, one, to be able to improve on the security of the country, personal and property. Two, even you as the owner of the property, you'll be able to track your own property. So I don't see the harubaru about it. What I would be concerned, what I would maybe hope people would be concerned about, is how much will it cost me to have that gadget in the car.
Definitely they're looking at all that.
That's what I would do. And that would be the area of argument. But whether it's going to make sense, we live in a very difficult world today. It's not the world of yesterday. Yeah? It's not the world of yesterday. If you'd ask me, I think I'm one of the victims of this new world today.
You would be the first person to go for it.
Yeah. Because if for example, if that gadget was in those fellows who attacked me, we would just within a matter of minutes would know where they are and what they are doing. So it's really for the safety of the people and also safety of the property. So what we should look at is, let's make it as affordable as possible. But it will also help us to be able to track these vehicles. For example, right now, you can make an accident, go somewhere and remove your number plate.
And run away.
And run away. Doesn't it happen? Do you know whether we have a system where we can track a number plate from the time that it's given to that vehicle to the time it is deregistered? We don't. Should that be the way to go?
Isn't it better to come up with that kind of a system?
Exactly. This is part of that. This is part of that. That will be able to track and know Katumba received the number plate XY23 on such and such a day. It was fitted on his vehicle number so and so. If the vehicle is 15 years, maybe we give it another 10, 20 years. By this time it will be, all that will be, that's what we are looking at.
Our truck drivers are being killed in South Sudan. As Minister of Transport, do these people have organizations that you are watching in their ways, as because the security part is not your bit, but in their ways, as the way as you're looking at taxi people with their organizations, their associations, is there a way you can help them as lorry truck drivers?
No, they have their organizations.
Yes, how are you helping them?
Well, for me, it's very difficult to say I'll help them with the security on the other side of the border.
Yes, but and isn't there where they can, as government of Uganda, transport ministry, where they belong, have a way of working relationships with the side on...
But that's how the Minister of Foreign Affairs has already done. Okay. I think they have, and Minister of Trade, they've already established a working relationship and linkages to include the Minister of Security and also the, I think, Minister of Defense. They have worked out a mechanism of how to correlate but also protect the truck drivers, because they are required on both sides of the border anyway. Yes.
This is my very last one, and I'll add two things. We hear them so much in Kampala. Having borders go out of the city and replacing the 14-seaters with buses. It is peke yake transport. What do you know about it, and in terms of arrangement, and how far has it gone in terms of having it materialize?
I say organizing the city is a responsibility of KCCA, but we partner with them as partners in areas of transport.
So I'm not asking a wrong person.
No. So whatever will improve functionality of the transport system in the city, we are with them.
Okay.
So if they feel that having border free zones is part of making a better city, I think they signed some contract with the New Vision. I don't remember what they call it. Was it Smart City or something like that? If they think that's going to make the city smart and clean, we shall partner with them on that. If they want to introduce, if introduction of buses will make traffic jams go away, then for us as a Minister of Works, what we'll do is to ensure that when they do the road designs, we make provisions for bus lanes so that the buses can move faster and can transport people. Of course, it would make a lot of sense to have a bus which carries 80 people than having taxis with
14
seaters. So, even I would encourage the 14-seater operators to look at that as their as their future plans, to own these buses.
Thank you so much, sir. His name is General Honorable Edward Katumba Wamala. He's Minister for Works and Transport in the government of Uganda, and I'm sure you have been following. Thank you so much for watching. I've been here with Davis Kamukama, my cameraman, Gloria Gwitabinji, the producer, and the team is very big. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa. Enjoy the best of the night. Bye-bye.
After beating Rwanda in Kigali, the Cranes continue their quest for a place at the Qatar World Cup. Now join us as we bring you the East African Derby Part 2 all the way from St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende and Tebe Road.
We shall never look back, we shall never ever stop.
This Sunday, the 10th of October at 4 p.m. live on UBC TV and radios. UBC, your home of sports.
Everybody,
This weekend,
Youth of Purpose.
We got this independence and we must enjoy it and keep it. Because independence can as well be taken away by those who had taken it.
When I hear the word independence, I look at it in an ordinary way of someone being able to put food on the table, someone being able to make a decision that can, be able to improve their lives.
As a country, if we do things together despite the difference in culture, region, religion, we would move to another step if we're all together as one.
To maintain our independence, our citizens must have financial freedom.
And as a young entrepreneur, I believe that everyone should focus more on the things that can actually help them grow. Because when Uganda gained its independence, it gave us freedom to actually work on the things that we need. It gave us purpose. It gave us an identity.
Uganda first.
coming soon on UBC.
Be amazed the hidden treasure in a woman of substance. Their childhood.
When I was young, I realized I had a poor sight.
Their experiences.
I could have died.
And into the women they've become. Be inspired by their transformation and their stories.
So he would shout at me after submitting my story.
Super Soul Sisters.
Coming soon on UBC. This weekend on UBC.
The recent fascination of African art has not left Kampala without expression and color. There's a bunch of obsessed artists that are busy creating, they're busy entertaining, they're busy challenging the status quo, and making sure that this industry thrives.
Hello everyone, this is Jimmy Alan Massa, also commonly known as Gam Massa. So Gam is Jimmy Alan Massa, and when I make them initials, they become Gam. This happens to be one of my art pieces.
Yeah, let's put it down here. Okay.
Yeah, so if I can say this one, so as I told you earlier, I specialize in African woman and African child.
First of all, who is she?
Now, to be precise, I have no idea who she is.
Get out of here. We had a debate, me and my producer and the camera guy. We were saying that this is Carol, who? What's her name again? Carol Maka.
No.
You know Carol Maka? No. You don't even know her. She somehow looks like her.
I have no idea. People come and tell me, is this Sheba? I'm like, no, she's not Sheba.